Get ready for a whirlwind of global news. We're diving deep into the Western Sahara conflict's stalled progress, celebrating Brazil's cinematic triumphs at Expocine, unpacking the critical 50-year anniversary of international law in Western Sahara, and bringing you insights from the European Society of International Law's annual conference. Legends Nexus is your ultimate source for the stories that shape our world. First up, we're exposing how the international community's neglect of the Western Sahara conflict has imposed heavy human and political costs on the region's peoples. Ambassador Oubbi Boushraya Bashir of the Polisario Front is sounding the alarm on decades of inaction and its devastating impact. Then, we're heading to São Paulo for Expocine, Latin America's largest movie theater trade show, where the international visibility and box office performance of Brazilian films are taking center stage, with major hits like I'm Still Here and The Secret Agent leading the charge. We'll also unpack the 50-year anniversary of international law in Western Sahara, hearing from Ambassador Abdallah S Possi about the high price of ignoring justice, and catch you up on the key discussions from the European Society of International Law 2025 annual conference. Don't miss a second, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. 50 years of neglect, the devastating cost of ignoring Western Sahara. 50 years after a landmark International Court of Justice opinion, the Western Sahara conflict remains a festering wound, precisely because the international community has turned a blind eye. Ambassador Oubbi Boushraya Bashir of the Polisario Front is making it crystal clear. This neglect isn't just a political failure. It's a human tragedy with profound consequences. Ambassador Boushraya details the crushing human and political costs borne by the peoples of the region due to this protracted inaction. The Sahrawi people have endured decades of exile, deprivation, political repression, and poverty, with many languishing as political prisoners in Moroccan jails. But the burden isn't solely on the Sahrawis. Boushraya highlights how the Moroccan people themselves suffer economic strain and restricted freedoms as their regime exploits the conflict. Morocco's dismal 120th ranking on the Human Development Index, coupled with high unemployment and illiteracy, paints a grim picture. Politically, the conflict has fractured the Arab-Maghreb Union and sown regional instability. The international stage is no less culpable, with Morocco's influence blocking efforts at the African Union and United Nations for a self-determination referendum since the 1990s. Even the European Union faces reputational damage for supporting agreements that benefit the Moroccan occupation, while the UN has missed crucial opportunities to uphold human rights and protect resources. Public reaction has been a mix of outrage and calls for accountability, with human rights groups amplifying the ambassador's message. Analysts point to the conflict as a stark example of international law's selective enforcement. Don't go anywhere, because the fallout from ignored international law is just one part of our packed show. Next, we're spotlighting how Brazil's cinema is conquering the globe. Brazil's box office boom, Expocine celebrates a cinematic golden age. Get ready to experience the magic of Brazilian cinema as it explodes onto the international stage. Expocine, Latin America's premier movie theater trade show, is buzzing with excitement, reflecting the stunning rise in global visibility and box office performance for films from Brazil. This isn't just a fleeting moment, it's a full-blown cinematic renaissance. In 2024, Brazilian films captured a remarkable 10.1% of the domestic market share, a massive leap from just 3% in the previous year, grossing billions. This surge is fueled by critically acclaimed hits like I'm Still Here, which snagged an unprecedented International Feature Film Academy Award for Brazil, and A Dog's Will Too, a major driver of domestic success. The TV series, Senna for Netflix, has also become a global phenomenon, lauded for its production value. Internationally, films like Gabriel Mascaro's dystopian drama, The Blue Trail, have earned prestigious awards, including the Silver Bear Grand Jury Prize at the Berlin Film Festival. All eyes are now on Kleber Mendonça Filho's historical political suspense, The Secret Agent, which swept awards at Cannes 2025, including Best Actor for Wagner Moura. This film is set for a major theatrical release in the US, following its premiere at the Brasilia Fest. Filmmakers like Mendonça describe Brazil as an extremely fertile place for storytelling, producing beautiful films that resonate worldwide. Petra Costa's documentary, Apocalypse in the Tropics, exploring evangelical Christianity's influence on far-right politics, also premiered to international acclaim. Expocine itself is dedicating sessions to how this soft power can build a sustainable film and TV industry in Brazil, discussing everything from VOD regulation to co-productions and the impact of Generation Z. The industry is abuzz with these successes. Social media is flooded with praise for Brazilian productions, and film critics are hailing a new era for the nation's cinema. Analysts predict continued growth and international collaboration. Stick around, because the global impact of Brazilian culture is just the beginning of our deep dive into international affairs. Next, we're revisiting a 50-year-old legal battle with profound implications. 50 years of ignoring international law, the high price of inaction in Western Sahara. 50 years. That's how long the international community has allowed the principles of international law to be sidelined in the Western Sahara conflict, and the cost is becoming unbearable. Ambassador Abdallah S. Possi, Tanzania's permanent representative to the UN in Geneva, convened a pivotal event to confront this stark reality. Ambassador Possi reminded attendees of two foundational moments from October 1975. The International Court of Justice's advisory opinion, which declared Western Sahara was not terra nullius and affirmed the Sahrawi people's inalienable right to self-determination, including independence, and the UN fact-finding mission's conclusion that the Polisario Front was the legitimate representative of a population overwhelmingly supporting independence. These legal and political pillars were meant to guide a resolution, yet half a century of noncompliance has created an unacceptable situation. The ambassador stressed that this disregard for international law doesn't just inflict suffering on the Sahrawi people. It critically undermines the credibility of international institutions themselves. When principles are acknowledged in theory but abandoned in practice, the very foundations of global order are weakened. His message resonated strongly with the diplomats and participants present, reinforcing a steadfast solidarity with the Sahrawi people and a firm commitment to their struggle for self-determination and independence. The event served as a powerful reminder that justice delayed is justice denied. We've heard the legal and political ramifications of inaction, but what about the ongoing discussions shaping international law? Coming up, we'll bring you the key takeaways from a major European conference. European Society of International Law 2025 Annual Conference, Shaping Global Legal Discourse. The European Society of International Law's 2025 Annual Conference convened, bringing together leading legal minds to discuss the most pressing issues in international law today. While specific session details are sparse, the event itself signifies a crucial platform for dialogue and the advancement of legal scholarship. The conference serves as a vital forum for legal experts, academics, and practitioners to engage with contemporary challenges in international law. Discussions likely touched upon areas such as international human rights law, international humanitarian law, international economic law, and the evolving landscape of global governance. The participation of Foley Hoag LLP attorneys highlights the firm's engagement with these critical international legal discussions. As an associate at Foley Hoag, discussions and networking at such events are key to staying abreast of legal developments and fostering international cooperation. The firm's presence underscores its commitment to advising clients on complex cross-border legal matters and contributing to the broader international legal community. While detailed public reactions or specific outcomes from the conference are not provided in the initial announcement, the mere convening of such a gathering indicates a vibrant ongoing effort to interpret, develop, and apply international legal norms in an increasingly complex world. The exchange of ideas at this conference will undoubtedly influence future legal interpretations and policy decisions. That wraps up our look at the ESIL conference, but our journey through the world's most impactful stories is far from over. Stay tuned for our lightning round recap and the full call to action. And that's a wrap on today's Legends Nexus. We exposed the heavy human and political costs of neglecting the Western Sahara conflict. We celebrated Brazil's cinematic explosion at Expocine, highlighting their incredible rise in global film. We revisited the critical 50-year mark of international law in Western Sahara and brought you insights from the European Society of International Law Conference. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Legends Nexus for more deep dives, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment below with your thoughts, and follow us on all our socials. We'll see you in the next episode.